Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our service today. Welcome to everyone who is here as part of the leadership team for today, and welcome everyone as part of our online community. We continue to do some experimenting with our sound, so we're working towards a new system, and so please do let us know how the sound is, and especially if you're having some difficulties. Here in the sanctuary today, we have Richard Hazel and Christine Beer. We also have Don Mock and Colleen Bars. Patty's behind the camera, and Darwin is lots of different ways today as well. My name is Laura Sundberg, and I'm one of the paid ministry staff here at the church. So we are wishing you all a good morning. I invite you to say good morning to one another online in the comment section. Also, hello to those of you who are watching during the week. It is so good to have you as part of our online community. We continue with our acknowledgement of land. We acknowledge that we are on Treaty 4 territory. We are on the traditional lands of the Cree, Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, and Lakota nations. This land is also the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect and honor these traditional lands and nations. We gather today to open ourselves to the ongoing presence of the Spirit of reconciliation and collaboration, as we seek to move forward in partnership as Indigenous and non-Indigenous siblings in a good way. Today, during our service, you'll have the services before you. Some of you who have gotten the service from home or you've downloaded it from the website, please feel free to change any words to fit your expression of the holy. We continue with the lighting of our Christ candle. Colleen is going to do that for us today. We continue with our opening words. I invite you to read along on the words in bold. It is a new year. New Year's Eve, we rang out the old and welcomed the new. As we look to the future, we wonder, what will the year bring? We begin our journey like the story of the Magi so long ago. We go into the unknown, guided by the light, seeking, bringing our gifts, searching for that which gives life, hope, and joy. Lead on, O star of truth. Come, lights dawning, burn within our souls. And so we sing from Voices United, number 82, verses 1 and 4, A light is gleaming.
We continue with our prayer of renewal. It is the poem, The Traveler's Homage, by Bruce Sanguin. We open now to the way of the Magi, wise ones not afraid to journey across borders and boundaries that mark the territory of the tribe to what Spirit is doing in another country, another tradition, and with other people. We learn to lay our gifts before the gift, to follow the bright and beckoning star of our future, across deserts of unknowing, mountainous obstacles and valleys of despair, to make an offering of our lives to the new thing that the divine is birthing in a land that we have never been. And then, Holy One, lead us back home on the path of the star-gazing sages, choosing back roads and fresh vistas, safe from Herod's horde and the passport-phobic, laden with spiritual gifts, new sound, tastes, and sights of the star-blessed stable where you were born, and the beckoning mangers where you are still being born. We discover that home is an expanding house, as large as our cosmos, as close as our hearts. Amen. So Christmas has come and gone, and thank you to everybody who was part of our Christmas Eve service. Thank you so much. Christmas has come and gone, and New Year's Eve has come and gone. And yet we still have Mary and Joseph and Jesus, and we have some Magi here today. So why is this still here and Christmas is over? Well, in the church, we have something called the season of Christmas. And so you know the song, the 12 Days of Christmas. Well, we are in the 12 Days of Christmas. Now, I think we're maybe we're on the 9th day of Christmas, something like that. Maybe others people, you can figure it out in the comment section. If I got it wrong, you can let me know. Maybe we're in the 9th day of Christmas. And we're heading toward Epiphany on the 12th day of Christmas. And Epiphany, I have a fact checker here, so we're good. So Epiphany is also, in our culture, we also call Epiphany Ukrainian Christmas. It's the Christmas that's in the Eastern Church that's celebrated. The Orthodox Church celebrates Christmas on Epiphany. And so we are heading towards Epiphany. And this is an Epiphany service. And so we mark the coming of the Magi. And so here they are. They have arrived. Now I saw this pretty fun thing on the internet where they had the Magi like this, all kind of lined up to keep 6 feet apart, coming this way. I thought it was pretty fun. But we'll make sure they have lots of distance here following these COVID protocols. And so we tell this story, and we're going to be telling it during the service. So the theme for Epiphany is light. And there are ways to do different crafts to celebrate light. And one of the crafts that was recommended in the Epiphany book that is on the church website for anyone who wants to download it is a luminary. I don't know if you've ever made a luminary before. They're very easy to make. This one is made out of a paper bag. Sometimes I've also, when I was younger, I saw them, you made them out of tin cans, and you put water in the tin can and you freeze it and you hammer a shape on the tin can, and then the ice comes out and you put a candle in. But this one is made out of paper. And so you trace a shape of a star, whatever you like to, and you put holes in it, and then you fill the bag with rice, and you put a candle inside. So we're going to put our candle inside. So this is kind of what it looks like. And it's kind of neat, it's kind of fun, and especially at night, you'll see it. I was looking at a video on how to create a luminary, and the person said you could put one, or maybe you could put 2 candles inside. And I thought, I wonder what it's like with 2 candles. And, well, that's pretty neat. And I thought, well, what if I put 3? Or what if I put 4? Then it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And I got thinking, this luminary has a lesson to teach us. One person has their light. One person can make a difference. But when one person and another person and another person and another person bring their light together, it's amazing what a shining light can happen and how the light will reveal what helps us in the future as we move ahead. So, here's a luminary craft. I invite you to make one at home. Let us be the light as we journey together this into the unknown. Okay, we continue on. So happy Epiphany, everybody. Be the light. So there is a hymn, an old hymn that's often sung. Where am I doing here? On Epiphany, and we often sing it as a carol, We 3 Kings of Orient are. I always loved that hymn as a child. This hymn, We 3 Kings, is really, there's a lot of a legend in this. It names 3 kings, Malthazar, Caspar, and Melchior, and we really don't know where those names came from. They're somehow developed over the centuries, and they bring their gifts. They bring their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So gold represents royalty. Frankincense and myrrh are also, frankincense was incense burned in the temple, and myrrh is a burial spice. We also now there's been some more research, and frankincense and myrrh are also healing spices as well. So we're going to sing We 3 Kings. So if you'd like to play the verse for us. And so as we use our sacred imagination, we imagine these travelers moving across the deserts and through the mountains, making their way from Persia, these Zoroastrians, as we sing, Star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, blessed days you will sing, guide us to thy holy throne. We 3 kings of Orient are. The reading you are about to hear is from the Gospel of Matthew. It follows our reading from December the 20th, when we heard the story of the birth of Jesus from Matthew's theological point of view. The Gospel of Matthew was written for a community of predominantly Jewish believers well before Christianity was ever established. Part of Matthew's point of view is to establish that Jesus is the Messiah, that he comes from the faith tradition of Moses, but that he is also more important than Moses because he's the Messiah. There are parallels in this story between King Herod and Pharaoh in the book of Exodus. Pharaoh issues a decree that the boy babies are to be killed so that they will not grow up to create rebellion. And Herod, too, has all the boy children killed to try and get rid of the king to be. Often when we merge this story on Christmas Eve with Luke's gospel, we have a kind of a warm, fuzzy moment on Christmas Eve. But this is really an adult story. Sadly, Herod will stop at nothing to hold on to power. He will send his forces out to kill innocent children in the name of the common good that he determines is in his best interest, when it is his ego that is at stake. This story asks us, what does your inner Herod want to hold on to at all costs? So today I read chapter 2 of Matthew. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem. Excuse me, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him, and assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet, 'And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel.'" Excuse me. Then Herod summoned the Magi secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him." Does somebody want to continue on here while I get rid of this frog? Sure. We'll have someone pause. Thank you. After listening to the king, they went on their way. And behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them until it came to rest over the place where the child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. Now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Rise, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet, "Out of Egypt I called my son." Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old and or under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation. Rachel weeping for her children, she refused to be comforted, because they are no more. But when Herod died, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Rise, take the child and his mother and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead." And he rose and took the child and his mother and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judah in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And being warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee. And he went and lived in a city called Nazareth, so that what was spoken of the prophets might be fulfilled, that he would be called a Nazarene. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches today. Early last week, I heard a rumor that there was going to be fireworks on New Year's Eve. So I watched the media all week trying to pick up some clues about where the fireworks might be happening, but there was not a lot of media attention that I saw. So New Year's Eve morning, I thought I'd better get on this because I'd really like for us to see some fireworks. Well, finally, after looking for about 20 minutes online, I found them. There were going to be fireworks at Everest Place. It was a fundraiser for the CNIB Foundation, and it was going to be at the Everest Place parking lot. There was a stage, there was entertainment, there were going to be fireworks, and it sounded like a pretty neat evening, but it was a bit pricey for us. So we decided what we would do is we would go and watch the fireworks from across the street and then make a donation to the foundation. So we went and we joined a whole group of people that were lined up on Mount Royal neighborhood across the street. And we waited for the fireworks to happen, and it was worth the wait. They were amazing. Not only were there fireworks going off, but we had the full moon was up in the sky as well, and you could see the stars. Both the fireworks and the moon lit up the sky, and it all felt like a celebration of the year to come. The night is a place of beauty and wonder for me. As you know, I have this fascination with the night sky. I also live in a city with a lot of light at night, so I seldom am in the deep dark. But the night is also a time and place when we face the unknown. That is certainly the case in places of the world where there isn't a lot of electricity. And it can be a time of danger with predators at work. And sometimes the unknown and fear go hand in hand. Our reading from Matthew is set at night. It is filled with layers of symbolism and meaning. And the story reveals both the wondrous dark and the unknown, fearful dark. Travelers arrive in Jerusalem after a long journey. They followed a star that had appeared in the sky, signifying in their religion that a king was born. And as we dig into the story, it appears that they have been traveling for a couple of years since the star appeared in the sky when the child was born. And this is why Herod wants to kill all the 2-year-old boys in order to kill this king-to-be who could take his throne. So, of course, they first go to the palace. The star looks like it's at Jerusalem. They go to the palace because, like where else would you find a baby king? But this is not the place where the child is. They encounter Herod. They encounter his narcissism and his fear. And Herod says, let me know when you find him and I'll come and worship him. Nah, ha, 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 like bah, ha, ha. We know, we can see through this plot. Well, they promise Herod that they will return back to Jerusalem and let him know where the child is. So out they go into the night, and there's the star, and really Jerusalem and Bethlehem, they're not really that far apart. And they find Jesus and his parents, and they offer their gifts, which are symbolic, as I told you before. Gold, frankincense, myrrh. And so they meet this child, they offer their gifts, and then they go to sleep. And here the wondrous and the fearful night converge. The Magi are warned in a dream that Herod wants to kill the child, and they are to go home another way. They offer their dream to Joseph and Mary, who listen and who head off to Egypt as refugees. In the story, they offer their gifts. They offer the tangible ones, but there are other gifts too. They bring the gifts of perseverance, the gift of listening to their dreams, of sharing their fears for the child's safety, the gifts of wisdom, and the gifts of warning. And while the Magi followed the star, they were also the light bearers. They brought their gifts to share in the service of life. Who are the light bearers in your life? Who are the light bearers and the gift givers who travel through both the wondrous and the unknown, fearful dark to light your way? On New Year's Eve, the people at the CNIB Foundation were light bearers for us. They brought the light of joy and celebration to our evening with those fireworks. The evening was such a gift for us and for everyone who was watching with us along the street. You could hear the oohs and ahs of little kids as they were watching. The foundation is also a light bearer for the many people who use its services. The event was to raise money for guide dog training. And these guide dogs, these service dogs, work in different capacities to help their people use their gifts and live their lives to the fullest. In our reading, the Magi are people from a different religion than Mary and Joseph. They follow the star as part of living their faith. And so in my life, there are a couple of groups from different faith traditions who are living out their teachings, and they are light bearers for me. The Sikh community in Regina and its Guru Nanak Free Kitchen are light bearers. I'm inspired by people who live their faith in practical ways, and they do this in a big way each week as they feed hungry people in Regina, no matter how cold, how snowy, how rainy, how hot it is each week. Their service to the community is part of Sewa, selfless service. People donate food each week, often fruit, vegetables, food that is expensive for low-income people to buy, staples, things to get them through. So they have a food truck that they dish out hot food from, and a semi filled with different kinds of staples that they distribute food from. If you look at their Facebook page, Guru Nanak Free Kitchen, you can see them at work. It's quite inspiring. And the men are at work in the kitchen in the food truck, and they're ladling hot, steaming food into takeout containers and giving them to people. They distribute food every Sunday at the corner of Angus and Dudney from 12:30 to 2. And their spokesperson, Hensing Jutla, estimates that between 400 and 600 packaged meals are distributed every Sunday. The meals are prepared at the Sikh temple. Anything left over is given to the YWCA. The Free Kitchen was founded in 2017 by Lovely Johal and Sandeep Sandhu. It started out with just a few people helping the two men serve food. Now the kitchen is outgrowing the temple, and they were looking for kitchen space. Beginning with 2 people and 4 people as the light grows stronger and stronger. The organization also offers an aid station at the Queen City Marathon and has distributed coffee and hot chocolate at Remembrance Day ceremonies. It's been involved in planting 550 trees. And in March, in the depth of the pandemic, the organization offered free meals to truck drivers passing through the city. The group also put up billboards thanking frontline workers. I can hardly imagine the work and the organization and the dedication and the teamwork that it takes to do this all year round. Another group of light bearers in my life are the activists in the Independent Jewish Voices organization. I belong to that group as a non-Jewish member. They work to challenge oppression and to support human rights. They courageously risk to amplify Palestinian voices and stand up for the rights of Palestinians and against the occupation. They also stand with Indigenous peoples and the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ+ plus communities, and against anti-Semitism as they work to uphold the human rights of all people. And they continually have courageous conversations as they work to end the occupation, and they inspire me to have courage. Well, these are just a few of the light bearers that I'm naming today. Who are your light bearers? Anybody here have light bearers that they want to name? Online, you could write some comments. Anybody have light bearers they wanted to name today? And what is the gift that that light bearer is bringing to you or has brought you in the past? These light bearers help us to go into the unknown as they light the way, if only one day at a time. Often they don't even know that they inspire us, but they do as we journey together into the year ahead. We each have a God light inside of us. All humanity does. And the more we reach out to others, the more we put our own vested interests aside, the more we seek the common good, the brighter that light shines. We become part of divine healing and sacred energy in our world, sacred transforming power. And we need this illuminating presence more than ever as we go into this next year of this pandemic. We still have a way to go before we can come together in person again as a community of faith here. And it is still going to be challenging to find our way as a church community and as individuals. There will be many fearful times, and there will be wondrous times ahead too. We travel together. We will find our way. Light bearers can help us to find our way, and so can the star in our hearts. Part of our spiritual journey is to go to those places of the heart where we are willing to be transformed. There is a spiritual practice in which star words are offered as words to guide us on our journey. So today I'm going to offer you some star words to choose from for this journey into the unknown. These words are in your bulletin for those of you who have it. And I'm going to show you these words now up close. And I'm going to be reading them. And as I read them, I invite Christine to play quietly, Richard behind. I'm going to offer you these words. Can everybody see them? Back a bit? Okay. So these are our star words. I'm going to read them aloud, or as you look at them, perhaps there is a word that resonates with you. That is your star word. Here are a few of these star words: light, patience, wisdom, mindfulness, generosity, truth, love, integrity, believe, peace, compassion, humility, strength and insight, gratitude, perseverance, justice, hope, faith, joy, trust, forgiveness, honor, passion. Perhaps there's another word that's not on this list that is your word. And so our star words guide us. These are words that can help lead us, guide us through the unknown. So I invite you to find a word that resonates for you and look for that word in experiences that you may have. Perhaps there's an item in the news. Maybe it's something you have to work on. May it lead you. May it guide you into a place of transformation and a new life. And as we hold these words, as they appear before us, we also hold in prayer. So many people, we hold the needs of our world. So Christine, please continue to play. We hold in prayer Jean Thomas, who is at Wascana Rehab. She broke one of her ankles. She's there. We hold the family of Marjorie Straker, who died December the 26th. We hold her family in prayer. The family of Darylyn Lemieux. We hold the Tolentino family at the death of his sister Joy in the Philippines, the Golfo family. So many people, so many deaths, COVID and other reasons. We hold in prayer all who are struggling with mental health issues. We hold in prayer sponsors in the 12-step movements, those light bringers, those guiding presences, those who are in recovery, those who are taking those first baby steps, and all who are getting ready for a new life in recovery. Not just there yet, we hold you in prayer. All who feel lost and alone on their life's journey, may we all find a star to guide us, a community of support. May the light of love hold us all and help us to find our way. And we hold Jinbo Sulman in Egypt, in Cairo, today in prayer. We are waiting to sponsor him, prayers for safety and protection for him as he waits this year to come. Hopefully he'll be able to come this year, and if not, early next year. So we name him. So many others. We open our hearts to healing, to hope, and to new life. And so today, in this Epiphany Day, this day as we speak of light and of gifts, we give thanks this day for the gifts that we all offer for the healing of the world. As I've said before, this plate is empty and yet it is full. And today it is full of the potential for healing and hope and life that awaits with our gifts, with our giftedness for who we are as a community. May we be part of healing and hope this year, we pray. Amen. A few announcements before we wrap up. Next week, Diane will be taking our service. And it may be on the theme of Sabbath. I'm not quite sure. We'll see what comes. And I'll take the service after that. And then Reverend Deb Anderson Pratt, the fourth week. Anyway, after I come back, then it's Reverend Deb Anderson Pratt is going to be taking our service. She works for the Regina Native Outreach Ministry. And our annual meeting is coming up on Zoom, and so you'll be watching for more information about that. Envelopes are available, and there are lots of other ways to give to St. James. You can e-transfer. You can make donations on the Canada Helps button as well on the website, and you do get a tax receipt for it as well. Anything else I've missed as far as announcements? I think we're good. So let us continue with our time of blessing. This is based on the poetry of Jan Richardson. You can find it at janrichardson.com. As we leave this time together, our journey into the new year begins. We do not know what lies ahead, only that we do not travel alone. Travel the most ancient way, on the path that leads you to the center of your life. Ask for guidance. Offer gratitude for the gifts that come your way, and then let them go. Follow the star that blazes inside you, telling that where you are is holy and you are welcome here. So we have our hymn, When Heaven's Bright with Mystery. Voices United, number 93. And so we sing blessing to one another as we sing one another out into this week. Hope shines as a solitary star. Faith is the inner light. You and I together mirror the light of lights and illuminate the pathway home. Let's sing it twice.
Shines
this week as we travel to